Can someone please explain me why we bought this man in the first place? Welcome to another edition of Transfer Thursdays. Before we go into anything, of course, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram and tag me in any rumor or transfer you want to see featured in the next episode. For our first story, we talk about Spanish news sources who were fooled into thinking Kylian Mbappe was going to Madrid this window by this man. Next, we have Spezia Calcio, who were guilty of basically trafficking a bunch of Nigerian minors. They were fined nearly $500,000 and had a 2-year transfer ban imposed upon them. But let's go into something a little bit more into detail, the Griezmann Soulswap deal. Barcelona, as we all know, are having just a little bit of trouble registering their new players, mainly because of how badly matched they are. They need to cut their wage bill by $200 million to comply with La Liga rules. And then there's Atletico, who are ready to sell Saul after having him at the club for 8 years. He's been linked to multiple clubs, including Liverpool. That's the one he's majorly linked to in terms of the Premier League. But currently, and of course this can all change because this is being recorded on a Monday, Barcelona and Atleti are in talks about swapping both Griezmann and Saul. On one hand, Barcelona are actually wanting more than just Saul. They believe that Griezmann is worth more, and there could be some inclusions of other players in the deal. But so far, as of today's recording, there's no agreement. If anything changes, I'm sure a voiceover will talk about it. There's also been rumors between Erling Haaland and Chelsea, and in my personal opinion, I don't really think Erling Haaland's going anywhere this summer. Chelsea, though, have been heavily linked with the striker, but they are not willing to pay the $175 million it takes to get this man. Arsenal have been linked with Ben White for, I'd say, the last 2 months. It seems like things are going well, though, because it looks like, according to Fabrizio at least, that Ben White could be making the move to Arsenal very soon. The price is supposedly $50 million, and with that being said, that would be within the top 5 of the most expensive Arsenal players. I don't think that means much, though, because Arsenal's prestige is down in the river, and also inflation. There have also been rumors about how Arsenal are ready to spend $100 million this window. Please, for the love of God, do not believe a single one of these things. If you believe any of this stuff, I promise you, once the end of August comes, you will have nothing but a feeling of disappointment. And finally, for our last rumor, it is Manchester United and Raphael Varane. Sources in Spain are saying that the price tag on Varane right now is around $50 million, which is the same price as Ben White. We missed a couple transfers, so I'm just going to go right down the list. 23-year-old goalkeeper Gregor Kobel makes the move from Stuttgart to Dortmund for $15 million. There were only 2 keepers that made more saves than Kobel last season in the Bundesliga. And with Dortmund having quite the issue in terms of the goalkeeping position, this could very much stabilize that. 23-year-old Romain Perraud, who could possibly be a new fantasy star. Southampton buy the left back for $12 million. He was one of the best left backs in Liga. He's much like your ordinary modern fullback of these days, but he also has the attributes that commonly associate with creative midfielders as well. 3 goals and 7 assists for a left back. I know it's Liga, but still. Speaking of fullbacks, yet another one makes a move, and that is Nuno Tavares from Benfica to Arsenal. The price was just $8 million, and with Tierney having injury problems throughout last season, and we just couldn't find a similar fullback that could make the impact like Tierney does, this could very much solve that issue. Matteo Guendouzi again goes on loan, this time to Marseille, and although it's just a loan, his Instagram says otherwise. 21-year-old Trincao, as everyone remembers, was signed by Barcelona last year during the Messi debacle. Well done, Barcelona. You really know how to do things right. Now, after getting not much of an opportunity at Barcelona in the first place, he makes a loan move to Wolves. Milan making more moves, this time Sandro Tonali for $7 million. He turns his loan into a permanent deal from Brescia. Young 20-year-old American striker Conrad de la Fuente will probably get a little bit more playtime as he makes the move from Barcelona to Marseille for $3 million on a contract that lasts until 2025. And Marseille continue to make even more moves. This time they bring in Pau Lopez on loan and also Cengiz Under on loan. The top transfer of the week has to be Rodrigo de Paul from Udinese to Atletico Madrid. He's come off just winning the Copa America.
I just want to fix this real quick before anyone kills me. Copa America.
Was fantastic in the final. He's an attacking midfielder with great ball progression. Udinese practically were carried by him. Every single time there was an attack, it was pretty much led by Rodrigo de Paul. At Udinese, he was really great at just relieving the pressure in the back. He can even anticipate runs even before he has the ball, so he can make the absolute perfect pass if he needs to. Atletico signed the creative midfielder for $35 million on a 5-year deal. Palace fans will be in jubilation with yet another great signing. Mark Guehi was one of Swansea's most important players and led them all the way to the promotion playoff final. Palace this window have seen 3 old center backs depart, so buying Mark Guehi for 23 million on a 5-year deal was the best move they could make. We travel to the Bundesliga for our next transfer. Sebastian Borneau makes the move from Cologne to Wolfsburg for 13.5 million. A 6'3" defender with significant pace could definitely contribute to the already solid Wolfsburg defense. Milan add another striker in Olivier Giroud for just 1 million. Throughout Giroud's time at Chelsea, he's won the FA Cup, the Europa League, and the Champions League. Champions League participants Villarreal by Boulaye Dia for 12 million. The striker had 14 goals last season for Liga. Kamaldeen Sulemala is his name, and he becomes the most expensive African teenager. The winger scored 10 goals and 5 assists for his club, Nordjylland. Yeah, but his dribbling abilities are by far his best attribute, as he completed 4.4 dribbles per game in the Superliga. Run by the teenager for 15 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Calvin Stengs signs for Nice for 15 million. 2 seasons ago, he was twice as productive as the league average in chances created. And last season, he had 7 goals and 5 assists for AZ Alkmaar. This one just happened about, I want to say 2 hours ago. Albert Sambi Lokonga. Yet again, it is Arsenal coming in with another young player, and this one is 21 years old, and the price was 17.5 million on a 5-year deal. After multiple successful campaigns at Wolves, it is now Rui Patricio's time to leave as he moves to Roma. He will be joining Jose Mourinho at the price of 11.5 million on a 3-year deal. And as Rui Patricio leaves, in comes another Portuguese goalkeeper for Wolves. 28-year-old Jose Sá from Olympiacos for 8 million. Of Sá's 124 appearances for Olympiacos, 50% of them were clean sheets, so he is a promising figure. Favored by Thomas Tuchel, but then kind of just thrown onto the side by Mauricio Pochettino. It is now Mitchell Bakk's time to leave as he goes on to Germany for 7 million to Leverkusen. More youngsters going to France. It's this time Ismail Jacobs from Cologne to Monaco for 6.5 million. His contract lasts until 2026. West Ham's club signing from 2018, Felipe Anderson, just hasn't really worked out, so a club record of 42 million turns into just 3 million as Felipe Anderson makes the move back to Lazio. 19-year-old tank Tanner Tessman, yes, the man who could have been a Clemson kicker, but has actually decided to go into a better sport. But Tanner has the privilege of going to the beautiful sights of the city of Venice for 3.6 million. Venezia also seem to be linked with another American, and also it seems like it's about to happen very soon, Gianluca Busio. 29-year-old Steven Berghuis goes from Feyenoord to Ajax. One of the fan favorites of Feyenoord going to rival club Ajax. And I can very much tell you, I'm sure one of the parties in this situation isn't exactly that happy. Berghuis had 151 goal contributions in 199 matches for Feyenoord. He signs for 5.5 million on a 4-year deal. 22-year-old Lucas Nemeka, a striker for Manchester City, only made 2 appearances for Manchester City. On his recent loan to Anderlecht last season, he scored 21 goals, and that's rewarded him with a move to Wolfsburg for 8 million. 26-year-old Japanese international Kyogo Furuhashi goes from Vissel Kobe to Celtic for 5.4 million. It seems like Celtic supporters are pretty excited about this signing, which as an Asian makes me pretty happy. And then finally we have 18-year-old Levi Colwill. Levi is considered to the Chelsea board as very important to the future, and he's loaned out to Huddersfield for this season. Tune in next time for when I talk about Erling Haaland going to Arsenal. But don't forget, of course, for the next episode, all episodes actually, be sure to follow my Instagram and my Twitter if you haven't already, and tag me in any transfer rumor or just transfer in general you want to see on the show. And if I missed any transfers, do go ahead and comment them down below, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I've already mentioned the 2 social media, so follow my TikTok if you want. I'm trying to get to 5,000 there. You can also follow my Twitch if you want. But until next time, I'll see you guys.